Invercargill, the southernmost city in New Zealand, as we pull back towards Homestead Stadium, the venue for today's game between Southland and the Lions. And once again, the fine weather, which the Lions have dragged round New Zealand with them, is here in Invercargill. And although there's been some showers today, the Homestead Stadium is in magnificent condition for this match. Well, normally this would be regarded as a bit of a midweek romp for the Lions coming up to the first test in Christchurch, but in fact with all the injury problems they've had, the game assumes quite a bit of interest, certainly from the tourist point of view. Wayne Graham is with me. Wayne, there are several players in the Lions team who could make the test side.
Oh, for sure. There's some important combinations there that the Lions are still working on, the halfback first five, but more importantly, I think the Lions have got to start their tour all over again with the test just 4 days away, Grant. They're really up against it to put in a good performance here today against the Southland side. And
Southland's got a good record against the Lions. Could they upset them today?
Oh, for sure. Anything's on at Homestead Stadium. The Southland crowd with the Southland team, a lot of spirit in the area. Sure, I'm looking forward to a good Southland performance.
So there we are, all in readiness for the match. The Lions against Southland. Let's meet the two teams.
Southland has a number of New Zealand divisional players, including Bobby Morrell and Simon Culhane. Culhane starred in the early trial in the Rotorua Rain last month. Number 8, Rata Smith, combines with Paul Henderson to form a potent back pair. With twin brother David Henderson a reserve, there's great backup there. The Southland forwards may struggle against the much bigger Lions. No midweek rest for Gavin Hastings this week, with a number of Lions backs injured. Fullback Tony Clement gets a run at centre. Neither of the halfback first five combinations has been that convincing so far, so look for Robert Jones and Rob Andrew to push for test spots. A lot of pressure on the Scottish locks, Cronin and Reid. Now there's a question mark over Martin Bayfield for the first test. Commentators are Grant Nisbet and Wayne Graham.
The referee for this afternoon's match here at Homestead Stadium in Invercargill is Mike Fitzgibbon of Canterbury and Rob Andrew of England to get this game underway. The Lions in the first half have the advantage of the wind, and that's a mistake made by Rob Andrew straight away. And we've seen a lot of that in recent days. And Southland have opted for the scrum back after, for a moment anyway, suggesting they may go for the line-out. Bad start.
Yes, the Lions had trouble with that at Carrisbrook. The kickoffs have been a problem area, and Rob Andrew that time didn't read the wind at all.
Bobby Morrell feeding the first scrum. Rata Smith, the number 8, from very experienced player, takes it off the back, and Southland walk over the top. And in fact, one of the players went in over the top. One of the Southland players going in over the top of Rata Smith, and an early penalty here for the Lions. And the Lions, to a captain, has an opportunity to put them in front. Got it up nice and high, certainly get the distance, but he's pushed it away to the right. And so Hastings misses the first opportunity of the game, 0-all. Jimmy Cormack out on the left wing for Southland. Simon Culhane, though, with the 22 restart. Leaping high and claiming it very well indeed was Andy Reid, the Scottish lock forward. So the Lions have it under control here, just out from the Southland 22. Southland, though, just getting a little lower, pushing the Lions back a metre or so. Now they start to make a bit of progress again. Meeting good opposition, though. Richard Webster in there, number 7. And, in fact, offside was Mark Tinnock, the former Bay of Plenty player. He was offside. And so Lions captain Gavin Hastings will have another chance. And this one certainly not as far as the previous one. Hastings this time from a much handier position, and the flags are raised, and so Gavin Hastings puts the Lions on the board early, and they lead after just 3 minutes play by 3-0. Beardsley with the restart, pushed it just a little bit too far again. Reid claims it well. He's done well with the kick-out so far, has Andy Reid. There is really a locking position up for grabs in the Lions test team, and there's a penalty here against the Lions. And the referee having a chat there with Peter Wright, the prop forward. A little bit of feeling early on. Damien Cronin not happy. Mark Tinnock's been involved a fair bit early on as well. So the penalty attempt from Culhane looks pretty good, just away to the left. And so the Lions continue to lead by 3 points to 0. And the restart from Rob Andrew. They're looking for a long one. Well, he doesn't hit it very well. Down towards the fullback Simon Forrest. And Forrest drilling it up towards the 22, but he's kicked it out on the full. So a bit of a mistake by Simon Forrest, who in fact can play on the wing, so he's a fullback with a fair bit of pace. And Southland will be looking to him to come into the line.
Yes, Simon Forrest, the idea was right there. Good young player for Southland.
1-3. That's right. 9-6. That's right. Yellow.
One world of sport in Invercargill. 5 minutes gone in the game. 3 points to 0. The Lions lead. The Lions bring this one under control. 8 metres on their own side of halfway. Southland doing well in the rucks and the maul so far, keeping it nice and tight, staying down low. Lions try to swing it away to the right. They can't do so. And hello, bit of a problem here again. A little testy in the first few minutes. Mike Fitzgibbon, the referee, right there. Peter Wright. And time to just have a little chat and to reflect, I think. Dave Bishop having a chat with Mike Fitzgibbon. Dave Bishop saw that. It was on his side. So let's have a look and see who comes out. Number 2 is being called out. Davin Heaps, the hooker, and Paul Henderson. So it's going to be against Southland. A couple of shoulder charges there from Heaps.
Yes, we couldn't see it from our position, but the touch judge ruled on the far side of the field there. Southland just a little bit keen to get involved in the game, and they're going to have to watch the penalties. With the wind behind them, Gavin Hastings is going to make the Southland side pay for any mistakes.
The wide angle this time for Hastings. Again, puts it up nice and high, and that's a beautiful kick by Hastings. And Southland being punished for early indiscretions. 6-0 now to the Lions. One world of sport at Homestead Stadium in Invercargill. 11 minutes gone in the game. The Lions have kicked 2 penalties to lead by 6-0. They've now got a free kick in 15 metres, and Robert Jones wants to take it quickly. Gives it up to Brian Moore, who hands it off to Richard Webster. Webster back in the Lions team today after injury problems. He was impressive in the first couple of games on tour. Andrew gives it back into Jason Leonard. 10 out from the 22 in Southland territory. And Jones this time taken in the tackle. Flicked across by Gibbs to Clement. Now Hastings. The little kick for wing 3-quarter Richard Wallace to run onto. But the Southland tackling has been secure so far in the game. Sun shining brightly in Invercargill. Davin Heaps for Southland. Paul Henderson took it in well. Did the right thing by immediately turning and putting it on the ground. Southland have the first time they've won any set ball at all. Hastings goes in to challenge for it. Webster was still there in general play, so he wasn't offside. Referee said play on. Wasn't played by a Lion. In fact, it came back off a Southland man. And the ball wasn't released by Southland, and so they've conceded another penalty. And this will be another chance for Gavin Hastings, and really, Wayne, Southland just giving up too many penalties.
Just having a look here to see who the Southland player was, or if there was, in fact, a Southland player holding that ball up. The referee rules there's some player in there not letting it go. Yes, the big number 1, Russell Palmer, with his hands around the ball, giving the penalty away for Southland.
Hastings this time from about 45 metres out. Again, he's certainly got it up high enough, and that's another excellent kick by Gavin Hastings. That's 3 out of 4 so far. And the Lions lead by 9 points to 0. 16 minutes gone in the first half. One world of sport at Invercargill. The Lions ahead by 9-0. That was a wild tap by Chinnick. Diving down on it and securing possession was Mick Galway. Now Jones away for Andrew. Again deciding to kick rather than feed the backs out wide. And what's a nice bounce too. So in the end it was a good tactic from Rob Andrew. And he's driven Southland back to within 15 metres of their line. Southland's 2 big line-out jumpers, number 5 Wayne Miller, and further back to his Mark Chinnick, number 4, but it's gone for Andy Reid. Reid winning some good line-out ball and impressing in the first 16 or 17 minutes of this game. Referee shouting out to let it go. Up it goes for Webster. Henderson drives in low underneath him. Now Jones away for Andrew. Flicked back by Gibbs. Lions looking to win it again in a good attacking position here. They could have gone left or right. Gavin Hastings standing looking for some support. It's not there. And Southland appear to be under control here. No, they don't. In fact, it's Brian Moore who has it. Carried on by Mick Galway. The Lions just 6 or 7 metres short. Tackle made there by Russell Palmer. So the Lions have to set and go again. There's the line, just 10 metres away. Galway set it nicely. Now Jones again. Away for Hastings, standing in close. Looking for the gappers. Gibb flicked it nicely to Webster. Webster's been very prominent in the early stages of the match. Gets up and goes again. He wasn't held. Webster fighting his way towards the line. Just held up short. Lions eager to get this, and there's a try, is it? No, just came up a little short. Well, good battling play by the Lions, and Southland struggling to hold them back.
Yes, good attacking, and they're retaining possession. Southland unable to get in there and get the ball out. There we see Mick Galway getting in to free the ball up. It comes to that player there, dives over, looked as though the try could have been scored there by the Lions.
Referee Fitzgibbon just telling the players that the Southland second row has to be in the field of play. But this is a golden opportunity for a pushover try from the Lions. Galway is the number 8 forward. And the Lions have the big shove on here. Morrell goes round, and this could well be a penalty try. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. It's going to be a penalty try, conceded by Southland. And I think that's a fair call. The Lions were going to score a pushover try. Bobby Morrell got in, and it's a penalty try.
Yes, the big Lions scrum. You can see they just held it steady there. They didn't try to push it until the ball had been shifted right to Mick Galway's feet at the back. Then the pressure came on. It looked at this stage that the British Lions had total control, and they were going to take the ball across. Bobby Morrell gets in there and takes it out of the back of the feet of big Mick Galway. The referee says, I have no opportunity, but no other decision but to give the penalty try.
Gavin Hastings converts the penalty try, and it's 16 points to 0. The Lions ahead. Pushing for inclusion in the test side. Lobs it down the back. Henderson takes it in. Southland winning what little ball they do through Paul Henderson right at the back. They might struggle to get this back, I think. Hello, it's on again. Well, we've had 1 or 2 blow-ups in this game, and no doubt the touch judge will have something to say again.
Yes, I think it's all pretty harmless stuff. It started with Webster getting in an offside position and stopping the ball coming back for the Southland side. Then there was something happened off the ball there that I'm sure that Dave Bishop on that touchline has seen. It's all pretty harmless stuff. It's just niggle. Southland would do better to get on with the game, I think.
Well, in fact, it's Paddy O'Brien, Dave Bishop on this side at the moment. So the spectators look on, awaiting the referee's decision. And he's going to call out another Southland player. It's going to be Mark Tinnick, number 4. So Tinnick is being spoken to by referee Fitzgibbon for use of the feet, which no doubt caused Mike Teague to get into action. And so another penalty against Southland. Gavin Hastings has already scored 11 points in this game. An opportunity to increase that total, and he has done that. And the Tourists now lead by 19 points to 0 after 26 minutes play in the first half. Well, Southland have had 2 big losses this season, or 1 big loss to Canterbury and a not so big loss to Otago, but they're making a lot of errors here today. I suppose a fair bit of nervousness attached to this game, but the errors, they've conceded penalties, they haven't kicked off properly from halfway.
Yes, and it's really starting to cost them there. Once again, a stupid mistake from halfway.
So Robert Jones with the feed. The Lions will look to push it down into that corner again if they can, or they've changed direction this time, and Rob Andrew is trying the other corner, and it's a useful looking kick too, as the right wing three-quarter Phil Johnston goes back. And what's the call here? 5-metre scrum, I think. It was touched before it crossed the line. So just as easily as that, the Lions force a 5-metre scrum.
Yes, all from a bad kick-off. The ball didn't go the 10 metres.
One World of Sport at Homestead Stadium in Invercargill. Jones to another 5-metre scrum. Lions have certainly shown they can push Southland back. Galway, but again the scrum is screwed around, and they'll have to reset. Jason Leonard on this side of the scrum looking for a big game. He's a man who could play in the test. Held up by number 8 forward Galway. The Lions getting very close once again. Driven over the line, and let's have a look. Referee says try. Yes, it is. And it could be Andy Reid, I think. The big Scottish lock who's had an impressive game. Yes, it is. Andy Reid scores for the Lions.
It was once again a good scrum from the Lions. There's Galway picking it up. And Webster's having an impressive game for me so far, Grant. He's really hard driving forward in New Zealand mould. And there we see Andy Reid, the big Scottish lock, going in to support, gets his hands around the ball. They're driving them towards the line, and Reid really goes over and takes it down to ground and gets the points for the Lions.
Good strong mauling here by the Lions. It was taken in, as you say, Wayne, by Webster. Reid is leading the charge there. Webster still got it. Now, it'll be interesting to see how Reid manages to get a hold of this ball. Just rips it away, I think, from Rada Smith and scores the try. 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Beardsley this time kicks a long one downfield. Didn't want to make the same mistake of not getting it 10 metres. And Robert Jones kicks it out for the Lions. They've run up a big lead, 24 points to 0. Just a hold up here. Somebody changing pair of shorts, I think. Peter Wright, the Scottish prop. Sounds very much as though there's some real crowd support here for the Lions.
Yes, there's a few very good supporters down in front of us here, bursting into tune. They're happy to see the Lions in front.
That's a penalty against Peter Wright, not releasing the ball. And he got a good Southland welcome there too.
Yes, the ball came down to here. We just see who takes it. Peter Wright goes to ground with the ball, and he didn't. He held on to the ball and didn't try to get it back there. Look at him holding on to it all the way. That's too long. The penalty to Southland.
Culhane having his second attempt at penalty goal. Again drills it into the wind, is just underneath. Hastings has it, and there's an enormous punt by Gavin Hastings. Fortunately for Southland, it bounces infield to Simon Forrest. Trying to get away from Tony Underwood. That's a difficult task. He's very, very quick. Southland have formed up behind the ball carrier, but can they get it back? Well, maybe not. Yes, they can. Mike Teague has to be penalised there, surely. There we go again. Well, Richard Webster's at the bottom of all this. The penalty has to be against Mike Teague for throwing the man away who didn't have the ball, and it is.
Yes, there's a lot of feeling there. Just watch what happens here. With the ball and the ruck is formed here, and very, very scrappy. But there's a lot of feeling between these sides, and obviously the Lions have come out to do as much as they can. Here's Teague grabbing hold of Morrell and just tipping him out of the way. Then players diving in all directions. Very, very scrappy and untidy.
One World of Sport at Invercargill, 5 minutes remaining in the first half. And the Lions are ahead by 24 points to 0. And some lifting in the line-out this time. First time in the game. And a free kick. Well, they try it once or twice in every game, just to see whether the referee is vigilant, and he was. So it's tapped by Morrell. Smith running onto it. Starting to come into the game a little now, Rada Smith, the number 8. Away it goes for Forrest once more. Came off the boots of Jason Leonard, and they'll go to the line-out once again.
Well, Southland should be trying to retain that. They don't need to kick it out into touch. They don't want the line-outs. They really want to keep hold of the ball and use their loosies like Henderson and Smith to run it at them. Got to retain possession and keep the ball alive.
Threw it in close. Caught the Lions just napping. Now it's been snapped up. Again, Southland have it. Morrell away for Culhane. Now Beardsley calling Aaron James, the centre three-quarter in. Gets over the 22. Southland haven't been in this position much. Came off the knee of a Southland player, so it wasn't knocked on. Morrell wants it again. Good attacking position here if they can get it, but they can't. Well, Mike Fitzgibbon has given the scrum to Southland, which could raise a few eyebrows in the Lions camp.
For sure, for sure. But just glimpses of the Southland side starting to play their traditional game, and that is at speed and clearing it quickly.
Big shove from the Lions. Off the back goes Smith. Good strong run by Rada Smith, the man from Tokanui, who's played 70-odd games for Southland. Here they come again. Out to Aaron James at centre. Now Beardsley. He's lost it forward, though. Referee playing an advantage, and it's a scrum for the Lions. 2 minutes to go till half-time. The Lions have scored 2 first-half tries. One of those a penalty try. Andrew's going to kick from inside his 22. Well, they have used the wind well. They've certainly played the game at the right end of the field.
Yes, but still not perhaps totally convincing, are they? There still looks a few holes there. Sure, they've through Hastings and Andrew, they've placed the ball well, and their scrums win some good ball, but they haven't really done a lot else.
Southland have pulled a few players out of this line-out. They're not going to win it, though. Andy Reid, the Scottish lock, who's had a good game, scored a try as well. Now it's up to Webster, who's been in impressive form, slipped a nice pass, but a forward pass to his fellow Welshman, Scott Gibbs.
Well, Webster in the middle of the back line for the Lions adds another dimension there for them attacking. They're using him as the runner up the middle of the field, the man to set it up.
Big shove again. Smith on the back foot, took it well, though. Oh, big handoff. 2 players went west. Good work by Rada Smith. He's got it back again, so who can he push off this time? He set it up nicely for Morrell. Away to Culhane. Now Beardsley. Away to Simon Forrest, the fullback, almost to the 10-metre line in the Lions' territory. Southland really starting to get into this game now as time runs out in the first half. Aaron James, the centre 3/4, down towards Gavin Hastings. Now this will go a long way downfield, and it'll be safely across the touchline from the Lions fullback and captain, and that's half-time. So at the break, the Lions lead Southland by 24 points to 0. Second half now, Paul Henderson has left the field for Southland with a rib problem and has been replaced by his twin brother, Dave Henderson. And it's Southland in the second half with the wind behind them. And the first kick from Gavin Hastings, driving play up to the 10-metre line. Quickly thrown again by Southland. That's a ploy they used in the first half, the low throw. Now it's away for Beardsley. Now Southland will try for some good field position here. And Wallace tried to get it. Andy Reid is back there. He's one player that has impressed in this first half. He's getting a decent working over at the bottom of the ruck, but he got the ball back to Gavin Hastings. And a decent working over there for big Andy Reid. Again, Southland go short, but this time not straight.
Yes, well, the tactic was good from Cormac. The kick was good, but the chasers just weren't there. Cormac coming down this terrace touchline here was very, very slow, and the tackle wasn't made. Gave the Lions a chance to clear.
24 points to 0. 1 Welder Sport in Invercargill. The Lions ahead. Robert Jones makes the kick, coming forward to meet as Simon Forrest. He took it well, but he ran into a solid tackle from Scott Gibbs. 10-metre line in Lions territory, and away goes big Wayne Miller for Southland. 5 out from the 22, and he gets turns. There it is for Morrell. That'll be a penalty against Peter Wright. He wasn't on his feet. He was playing the ball. And Southland have a golden opportunity to score their first points.
There's big Wayne Miller crashing up the field for the Southland side, trying to free the ball up as it comes back for Southland. A little bit slow, the forwards go in there, but big Peter Wright there puts his hand in front of it on one knee and gives away the penalty for the British Lions.
Simon Culhane had 2 in the first half, unsuccessful. This time with the wind behind him, he guides it through. And Southland are finally on the board after 43 minutes of play. And it's 24 points to 3. Rob Andrew from halfway. Andrew troubled with a leg problem in the first spell. Seems well recovered. Taken in by number 8 for the Lions, Mick Gorway. Oh, it's come the other way, though. Southland have turned it over. Away for Rada Smith, who had a strong first half. And he's in touch, is Smith. Once again, a decent pile-up. Or in trouble again here. Southland team not very happy with Mick Cronin. Penalty against Mick Cronin. Misconduct, the referee said. Obviously something he said there to either Mr. Fitzgibbon or the Southland players.
Well, the Lions can't afford that sort of ill discipline in their side. They have to cut that out because that's a stupid penalty. Gives Southland the opportunity to bang it back down into that corner.
Not finding touch, Culhane, though. And Gavin Hastings with the powerful right foot return.
Be interesting to see how the Lions clear their own ball now into the wind. See if the one or two of these big locks can bring it down two hands. There's a lot of holding going on in that line out.
It's away now for Rob Andrew. Scott Gibbs tries to get through. He does too. Now where's the support for Scott Gibbs? There's no one home. Looking for support finally. They get there, but he threw the pass a little bit loose. Now it's Andy Reid, the big Scottish lock, who's had a good game. 15 up from the 22. There it is for Robert Jones. Away for Andrew. Brings it back the blind side where Wallace is waiting. Diving down on it and securing possession once again was Cronin. Now Jones away again for Gibbs, who started it all off. Away for Gavin Hastings. He's well taken. Southland look as though they've got this under control. They have. Morrell bangs it away down the blind side. Hastings after it. And that's good play by Southland.
Good recovery by Southland, Grant. You can't afford to lose position into the wind. Southland really need to keep it going quickly now.
Once again, a bit of niggle going on. Southland take it quickly, fair enough. Play on, says the referee. Culhane. They're trying to play the game at pace now, Southland. Good idea. Try and run the Ryans around a bit. Now Beardsley. Offside, the referee said, so he's playing an advantage here. Beardsley. On it goes for Miller. Now he's going to come back all the way for the penalty against Rob Andrew.
Here we see the line out, the quick throw, and the referee said keep going. It came out to Culhane. He stepped inside. The ruck was formed there. It's from this ruck here that the Lions were picked up offside. We see Rob Andrew standing there, not retiring behind the last man's feet. The ball came back from Morrell. The referee played the advantage, but the penalty was given from there.
Culhane, second attempt of the second half. Oh, and he's made a hash of that one. Great opportunity for Simon Culhane. He's missed it, though, and it remains 24 points to 3. Southland once again playing it short. Handed back for Morrell. He runs into the big forward pack, and the little halfback having trouble surviving that. And the Lions, not surprisingly, bring this one under control. Andy Reid again leads the charge. This time they've worked it well. Now can the backs do something about it? Tony Underwood's decided he's going to take the ball. He gave it away nicely to Gibbs again. Back in field to Clement. Tony Clement. That's a lovely try from the Lions, the best today. And good reward for use of the ball.
Well, the Lions frustrated a little by the tactics employed by Southland, but here we see one of their danger men, Underwood, with the ball. Steps inside Culhane's tackle, sets it on to Gibbs. Gibbs, good hard straight runner up the middle of the field for the Lions. Flips it back in for Clement. He knocks off Bobby Morrell easily and runs through to the line, steps inside Forrest. That is the use of the ball. That is how to counter the Southland tactics. Use their backs, Lions. Great try.
Gavin Hastings from a handy position. And it's 31 points to 3 now. The Lions lead 13 minutes in the second half. Tony Underwood decided it was time for a run, and Scott Gibbs, who's been the most impressive of the Lions backs today, and then Tony Clement, somewhat out of position at centre, had a lot of work to do. He beat Bobby Morrell, stepped inside Simon Forrest, and then showed a good turn of pace and scored right under the crossbar. Rob Andrew. Good kick. Taken down by Smith for Southland, the number 8 forward. Ripped away by Chris Corbett. Southland set it about 15 out from the 22. There it is for Morrell. Now Culhane, Beardsley. Can't get away from Gibbs, who's tackled well. Southland haven't got this either. Now there's trouble on the blind side. Away goes Clement for Richard Wallace, the right winger. Taken him from behind by Cormac. Snapped up here by Culhane. The man without the number on his jersey, Brian Moore, throws. And a push in the line out by the Lions. And it doesn't look as though Southland's proud record against the British Lions is going to be improved upon today. They've had a couple of wins back in 1950 and 1966, but they're well down this afternoon, 31 points to 3. Simon Culhane has had 5 penalty attempts in the match today and has been successful with just one of those. Southland win the ball on the line out again. Tinnick got very high. Offside against the Lions. So Culhane may have another chance here. Played in the New Zealand divisional team, was a trialist, Simon Culhane, and that is a much better kick from him. His second penalty of the afternoon, and that makes it now the British Lions 31, Southland 6. The Lions have had the superior scrum. Rada Smith has had a strong game off the back. Here he goes again. 12 metres on the line side of halfway. Morrell up for Culhane. Tried to slip it back and field to the forwards, but they've got it again. Here's Beardsley. Offside against the Lions, standing up very flat. Morrell wants to go again, he does. Held by Peter Wright. That's silly stuff. That is silly. Now, something serious could happen here shortly. The referee's telling Peter Wright that if he's involved in any more professional fouls like that, he'll give him an early shout. Haven't gone 10 metres, so here they go again. Morrell takes it again. Tinnick. That's how close Southland were. And the Lions want to get themselves to blame.
For sure, Grant, there's little discipline in the Lions, especially Peter Wright. We've seen it 3 or 4 times this afternoon. In failure to retire, hanging on to the ball on the bottom of the ruck, and he's causing them a few problems with the discipline in the pack. Great position for a Southland to attack. This will test the line-out ability. Right on their own goal line, they're put in. Let's see if they've got the confidence of their jumpers to go up and try and take the ball down.
Ryan Moore looking for Damien Cronin. The ball's up off the ground. Now who's got it? Southland pack and low, try to drive the Lions back. Right on the goal line there. The Lions appear to have it. And offside. Well, it's going to be taken 5 metres back. The Lions got themselves offside, and so the attack continues from Southland.
The referee Fitzgibbon ruled that Mick Galway had picked the ball up and then gone into his players in front of him, giving away the penalty.
So here they come. Little disorganised Southland. Weren't quite sure what was happening there.
Well, you can't do that move that close to the goal line because the opposing players can come in and barrel you, just like the Lions did.
Mick Cronin limps away to the sideline. Meantime, Southland drive it on.
Well, very, very scrappy. It must be concern for the Lions. They should be able to exert their influence over a pack like Southland.
Picked up by Smith. Rada Smith's had a strong game off the back of the scrum. Pops it up nicely for Morrell. Now Beardsley. In comes Forrest. Away to Cormac. Good strong play here by Jimmy Cormac. He did well. He stayed on his feet. And again, Southland applied the pressure.
It's probably the first time in the match that Southland have actually let the ball go to the wing, Grant. Every other time they've stopped and chopped back in.
So away goes Rob Andrew, and the injury problems continue for the Lions. 31 points to 6, the score remains. Loose ball close to the line, goodness me, tidied up by Galway. Southland drive them back. Right near the line. Now the Lions forwards start to make a bit of progress, but they've got to get it out of there or they'll concede the scrum. And they're going to concede the scrum. Well, that ball was just lying on the line.
Yes, untidy stuff for the British Lions right on their own goal line, and the home crowd would definitely love to see the
Southland side score a try against the British Lions. Hammering the line, the opportunities are coming, but they're just not quite finishing them off.
Stuart Barnes onto the field for Rob Andrew. They're not going to push the Lions back as Rada Smith goes with it, taken away from him by Dave Henderson. Good work by the flanker, hanging on like grim death. Now Morrell has a little skirt. Culhane. Southland's best chance of the game here. They've got it nicely set just to the left of the goalpost. Now Culhane. They've got to shift it quickly. Forrest has taken a good tackle. Southland want it back. They're not going to get it. They get a penalty instead. They take it again, Morrell. Chenick couldn't hold it. Knocked back 10 metres. It's another penalty. They didn't retire the Lions. Bit of a discussion between Tony Underwood and Aaron James. But Southland have another penalty just 5 metres out. So it's on the spot. Bobby Morrell. Up for Smith. Strong runner, Smith. Now Morrell feeds it again. Culhane. Simon Forrest. Picked up in there by Wayne Miller. They're right there, Southland. They just need to move it another half metre and they're in. Morrell. Culhane. Underwood up very flat. Ball's loose. Snapped up again by Chris Corbett. Smith. Away for Johnston. Bit of traffic over there. Phil Johnston does the right thing, brings it back. Morrell comes again. Culhane. Beardsley. Away for Cormac. Cormac! Jimmy Cormac. Well, that's a big moment for Southland.
Well, after attacking for most of the second half, Southland finally find the ingredient that gets it across the Lions goal line. We see Beardsley getting up to Aaron James. The ball finally comes to Jimmy Cormac on the swing. Look at the poor tackle from Richard Wallace. He slips inside him. That was the most popular try scored at Homestead Stadium this afternoon. Just watching the ball come out this time. It comes to Beardsley. He looks for Aaron James. They seem reluctant. They're still looking inside the Southland backs, but this time Jimmy Cormac steps inside Wallace, goes across in this corner for a fantastic Southland try.
Quickly thrown again by Southland. They've used that tactic a lot today. Kicked away by Morrell. Tony Underwood goes back. Now he loves to run with the ball, Tony Underwood. What can he conjure up from here? Not much. Beautiful tackle by David Henderson. Snapped up by Bruce Morton. Southland could make something of this. They'll get a penalty. Now I'd imagine they'll tap and go. Morrell again to James for Forrest. They know they can do it out to the left. Now Forrest. Up to Bruce Morton, number 6. Here they come again. Beardsley. Try coming up for Phil Johnston. They've gone crazy down here. Second winner's try in 2 minutes.
Well, it's taken them about 60 or 70 minutes to move the ball with their wings, but now they're starting to do it. The whole crowd is going mad. James gets it out to Johnson. He's a great right winger, this guy. Then he goes to the corner, scores a popular Southland try.
Bill Johnston's try not converted by Culhane. So it's 31 points to 16. Some real respectability coming back into the Southland effort. So a number of replacement players on the field now. Southland have got about 3, including number 19, David Henderson. The Lions have got a couple, both in the backs. Andrew and Gibbs are out of it. And Barnes and Guscott are in there. We've got 6 minutes remaining in this game. 31 points to 16.
Well, it's been a tremendous comeback by the... there we see big Wayne Miller breaking away from that one. But it's been a good comeback from the Southland side. They've really showed signs of it late in the first half. But as this second half has progressed, they've really come in and taken it back to the British Lions.
Scrum fed by Morrell, just on the line side of halfway. 1 mil to score in Invercargill this afternoon. 6th match of the Lions tour. They led by 31 points to 3 at one stage. It's now 31 to 16, and Southland using it again. Johnston back for Forrest. Good use of the ball. Henderson there again. And Johnston dived it over the top. I think he lost his footing. However, it was illegal what he did. Dived it over the top, played the ball, and got penalised. Southland has all of a sudden, Wayne, have discovered that they can throw the ball around and use it well.
It's confidence, isn't it? I'm sure they just lacked a little bit of confidence. One wonders what would have happened if they'd played with the wind in the first half.
It's 31 points to 16. Good leap near the back of the line-out by Bruce Morton. Southland have it again. They'll use it for sure. Forrest knocks it on. Referee playing an advantage in Southland. At least the Lions have got an advantage too as Stuart Barnes runs it up.
Let's just have a look. Barnes goes to the ground there. Really fell quite awkwardly.
Well, that looks like a nasty cut to the head of Stuart Barnes. So the Lions are going to need another replacement player by the looks of things. The only back replacement they've got left is Dewey Morris. So Dewey Morris comes on. And they're going to try and work out where to put him. A real rearrangement going on here.
There's a bit of shuffling going around the back line. Nobody's quite sure where to play now.
He's going to play on the right wing. So the Lions have continued to have terrible injury problems in this match. They've lost 3 players, all backs. Tony Clement's going to have a drop kick. Not a bad-looking kick either. In fact, a magnificent kick from Tony Clement, who's gone and slotted in the first 5-8. And maybe he's the man that might have to fill that place on Saturday.
Yes, and he did it so calmly too, didn't he? He came in from the centre, just lined it up. Look how he held the ball. He held it on one end, but he hit it beautifully. It went straight between the posts. Good drop goal from Tony Clement.
34 points to 16, the Lions lead. Bobby Morrell to feed one of the last scrums of the game. Southland would like to finish with a flourish, I'm sure. Rada Smith had a strong match. Taken away by David Henderson, who's played well. Coming on at half-time to replace twin brother Paul. Now Morrell again. Smith trying to straighten it up. Gave it away, although it was lost by Wayne Miller. Trapped in there by Chris Corbett. Good work by Brian Moore. He secures the loose ball. And away goes Richard Wallace, who gets across there. Well, he's not the right winger anymore. In fact, he's playing halfback at the moment. Away it goes from Clement to Underwood. Important tackle made by Phil Johnston. Now Morrell. And he's in touch too. Referee looks at the clock. And we're just about at the end of this. In fact, we are at the end of this. It's all over. And the Lions have won their lead-up match to the first test match here in Invercargill this afternoon. But it was not a convincing performance. They led by 24 points to 0 at half-time. And they've won the game by 34 points to 16.